No, not necessarily. When you look at this, sometimes it's addition by subtraction. And obviously they felt differently than Montgomery felt in terms of how clear it was whether he should bring it out of the end zone. We talked about that yesterday, where he said he wasn't, he wasn't.
Coach, what do you think really happened?
I think they told him that he should stay in the end zone. He decided to come out. Then he came out and said, they never told me that, and now he's in Baltimore.
For a future, not even this year's 7th rounder, a 2020 7th round pick.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where, okay, it's time to say goodbye. And then with Clinton-Dix, I know we tagged Pro Bowl onto a lot of players, but a lot of players make the Pro Bowl now that
from injuries.
Well, it's injuries, or the teams in the Super Bowl, or it's like it's different. The Pro Bowl distinction.
It's not the All-Pro distinction. We know that.
Yeah, it's a little. It can be a little bit deceiving. And where came out and said it doesn't look like I'm going to be a Green Bay Packer next year. As soon as you start talking about next year and how you're not going to be with that team, organizationally, you're thinking, is this guy really going to push through injuries? Is he going to make the sacrifices that we need to make as the season goes on, or is he going to start to make business decisions? So if you get an opportunity to secure a draft pick, and that's a good draft pick for him, and you feel strongly enough about the players they have, to me, I think that makes sense as well.
Listen, I get that some guys make a Pro Bowl because they're an alternate, and some guys make a Pro Bowl legitimately, but then don't play at that level anymore. Our friends at Pro Football Focus say the two best healthy safeties in football this year have been DJ Swearinger and Clinton-Dix. Washington now has both of them. That was a really interesting clip. I hadn't seen that, where Swearinger and Clinton-Dix end up slapping 5 after a big play during the Washington-Green Bay game earlier this year.
Very, very odd.
Right?
Very, very odd for you to be making an interception. Now, I understand that there's a fraternity in the league, fraternity based on your position, but I'm not going to be dapping a guy up after he intercepted my quarterback. So DJ Swearinger, I don't know. DJ and Clinton-Dix, I don't know what made them come together. They get ready to be teammates, though, a week after picked it off. So it was just an odd exchange there. I just picked up there.
But here's the thing is this. The Packers are not better today than they were yesterday. Unless there is so much more to the locker room stuff. Forget the Ty Montgomery thing. I don't care about that. I'm talking about just the safety. Unless there's so much more to him being upset he didn't get a contract extension. By the way, this is the type of player you should extend. This is the type of player you draft. The only first-round pick you've taken nothing but defensive guys in the last 6 years in the first round. The only one to make a Pro Bowl through hook or crook, injury, whatever, is this player. He's playing at a high level, and you've decided you don't want him on your team next year. And evidently you don't want him on your team the rest of this year. You're 3-3-1. The leaders in your division are 4-3 and have a quarterback they do not trust. You have Aaron Rodgers. I think you just played your best game of the year. Why are you sellers right now? That's the part I don't get. Why are you sellers right now?
I know Pro Football Focus ranked him, and obviously if they say it must be true. But when you look at a guy like this, the impact in the locker room, that stuff is real, but we don't hear about it. And who knows what he's saying about the way the scheme is set up? Who knows what he's saying? There's a lot of ways that you can undercut the situation that you're in. And the defense is actually playing better than it has in a while. So he might have been a Pro Bowler on a defense that was not historically very good. And you have a chance to push forward and potentially take a situation that's negative right now and remove yourself from it.
I believe it works for both organizations. I like the player that Washington's going to get. I like who he's being partnered there with DJ Swearinger. They bring a physical presence. Gives them ability to be able to cover a little more in space than DJ does. But as Coach said, we don't know the intel on the player. The general manager, I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt, just like I do every other general manager, to be able to wait to see what his plan is, even if he hadn't told me what his plan is, like Gettleman did when we discussed the other day. So I'm going to watch this. He obviously was not going to be one of his guys into the future. They obviously made a decision not to extend him. So was probably upset about that. And anytime you start communicating to the media something that didn't need to be communicated, you're under contract. So I could see also this being one of many moves, even not only personnel-wise, but I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay moved off of their coach. Like, I wouldn't be surprised with the opening in Cleveland and with Dorsey being a system guy and coming from that Andy Reid tree. Typically, you like hiring people that you're familiar and you're close to. So I think Cleveland will be looking at Green Bay's coach. So
try to trade for him?
I don't know what I don't know what you're going to call it, but it's just we just look at this season in Green Bay. I look at this season could turn the other way and then move on from their coaches the way they moved on from these two players yesterday.
Anything with the coaching, though, would happen in the offseason, and that I understand entirely. I don't look at the Packers as a team right now, or I look at the Packers, I should say, as a team that is still a contender. As a team that is up against the toughest month of their season, I actually think they should feel good about how the first major test went. They hate how it ended, but they've got to feel like, man, we dominated the Rams in the first half until the final 3 minutes. We were in position to have the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands down less than a field goal with 2 minutes to go and get a signature win.
But you can't let one game affect how you plan on moving into the future. I just believe the general manager has certain things that he wants to do, and there's certain players that are not going to. They had to get Ty Montgomery off that roster. Anytime the coach gets to the podium and the coach says, I told him to stay. Now, you're either a fool to get up there to go against what he said, because I know the Green Bay Packers gave him specific instruction there. There's no way that they told him exactly the same thing they told him for any other kickoff. So once you say that and then you have a player come out and say that, hey, he made the wrong mistake there, he was being very, very selfish, it's time to move on because he's not going to be comfortable working there anymore.
And the reason, Nick, that I think there's more to this story is all the points that you do make. This is a young safety. This is a guy who has had some success and gone to a Pro Bowl. This is a homegrown talent. All those things make you think.
Homegrown by another general manager, though.
That's a good point, but all those things make you think that's the type of guy that you'd want to extend. And the fact that they would move on from him now, typically there's layers underneath this that we're not seeing, because it doesn't add up when you look at it objectively.
So did the Packers get better or worse yesterday?
Well, with any trade, draft picks, any of that stuff, we're not going to know until we go down the road and see how the secondary works now when you remove
I can't say if they got better or worse, but the general manager got done what he wanted to do. He's closer to his goal. He's moving this team in a direction. When they take one of their marquee players and move him in a they didn't have to. He wasn't forced to do that. So in his mind, Jenna, they're better than what they were yesterday.
Well, and certainly in his mind, they are positioned better, at least in the long term. It is very hard for me to see a scenario, unless the locker room stuff is disastrous, where they are better for the last 8 games of this year without a starting caliber, without question, no matter what Pro Football Focus says, one of their 5 best defensive players at a minimum. This year, they're not going to be better without him. The draft pick's not coming until next year.
Well, no, what is clear is there's law and order. You're gonna do things the way they want them to do it, or you're gonna be doing it somewhere else. That's a pretty clear message.
Bum bum. Coach, we'll see you later in the show.
Did you just do that?
That's the theme.
She tried to do the Law and Order theme.
I did do the Law and Order perfectly.
Do it again, Jenna.
Ready? Bum 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 bum. Ball. Coming up, is Kyrie Irving back to his all-star form after last night's win? I wait the whole segment, and then I say that.